we're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new style, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Wednesday, July 16th here in Seoul. I'm Lee Soo-jin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Ki Kim.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, and Julian Kim is also with us.
Happy Wednesday.
And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So it's Wednesday, which means we are going to begin with our keyword news, where we look at a story that has been gaining traction over the past 24 hours. Today's keyword is Harry Potter. So Warner Bros. Discovery announced on Monday local time that production has officially begun for its new HBO TV series based on the Harry Potter books. The studio also released the first image of the lead actor and character as Harry Potter, offering fans a first glimpse of the new adaptation. The release of the picture follows the studio's casting announcement in late May, when it revealed the actor is set to play Harry, Ron, and Hermione. The series is slated for release in 2027. So Julian, are you a Harry Potter fan? How do you feel about the decision to remake the Harry Potter story for TV?
Yeah, so I didn't really grow up watching or reading any of the series or the movies, but I actually do really think it's really exciting that Harry Potter is going to be remade for TV. Percy Jackson, another mystical series, has its own movie, and a TV series was actually remade for 2 years ago, and many fans, including myself, really enjoyed the remake. So I think there's a lot of potential here. I think it's super exciting, and I'm looking forward to see how it will turn out.
So I'm actually a long-time Harry Potter fan, which is why I don't mean to judge you, but I'm very surprised that you've never actually read or watched the Harry Potter series. But as a fan, I'm actually really glad that they are bringing the story back. But I was actually kind of hoping for a spin-off on the Martyrs, which is like James series, Remus and Peter. So that could be another thing that I would be interested in watching. But I'm looking forward to see what they come up with. So what are your thoughts on this, Ki?
Well, before I go, who's your favorite character?
Sirius Black, which is why I think a spin-off on those that friend group would be so interesting.
Okay, well, I am a big fan of Harry Potter because I grew up watching this series. I remember going on a date to watch the third series, The Prisoner of Azkaban, released on my birthday, the June 4th, back in 2004, when I was in high school in the States, and I was a huge fan back then. Pretty much everyone dressed up as a Hogwarts student for the Halloweens, and first, I just couldn't imagine Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley played by other actors other than Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. But then I just saw a sneak peek of all the casts, the new casts, and they in some way portray the characters better just by their look. We just have to wait and see how they act throughout the series. It'll be fun to watch, and as a fan, hopefully they do a good job and not fall into a deep hole like what Marvel did with their TV series.
Right, so they do have a head start because they have such a solid fan base. So with production underway and the first look revealed, it'll be interesting to see whether this new take lives up to the legacy of the original series while offering a fresh spin for a new generation of fans. And that concludes our keyword news for this Wednesday. And as we make our way into the middle of the work week, we're taking a look at a topic that's especially relevant to Gen Zs this summer. Let's take a look at the screen to learn more. Summer is here, which means it's vacation time. And while soaking up the sun and getting away from it all never goes out of style, how people choose to spend their summer break is constantly changing. Each year, new travel trends emerge, shaped by culture, technology, and even social media, and this year is no exception. From spontaneous weekend getaways to nearby destinations that don't break the bank, here are some of this summer's vacation trends. So as we just saw in a video, summer is officially here, and that means vacation season is in full swing. So whether it's a quick weekend escape or a well-planned overseas trip, people everywhere are itching to take a break and recharge. So Ki, do you have any fun vacation plans?
Well, I've been freelancing all my life, and it's not easy to plan a vacation ahead. Just like a slave, when my master gives the work, then I have to go to work.
You available,
yes.
Ready to go?
As a matter of fact, I didn't really have a proper vacation for years. I just take a quick trip, like 2 or 3 days when I know for sure that there won't be work for the next couple of days. But I did take a trip to Osaka, Japan last week with my mother. It was a nice mother and son time.
So as I've said before, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, which is
Yes.
why one of the top items on my bucket list is to visit Osaka. So
Sure.
how was that trip?
It was great. Actually, my mother loves food, so I took her to a lot of different good restaurants. I ended up walking 20,000 steps a day. So I ate a lot, like 20,000 calories a day, but I spent 20,000 calories a day, so that's a good thing. But if you are to go to the Universal Studio in Osaka, you might as well just spend 2 or 3 days in Osaka and just in Universal Studio. There's so many attractions, so many rides, so many things you can do. You can pretty much spend entire day just looking at the Harry Potter stuff there. So next time you plan, I'll tell you all the good restaurants that there is, and you can enjoy your
I'll
trip.
hit you up when I plan my trip.
Exactly.
So what about you, Julian?
Well, it is summertime, and just like many of you guys, I am very eager to get out and travel, especially whenever I get the chance. I actually just recently came back from a trip to Australia a few weeks ago, and it was by far probably the best and most memorable trip I've ever been on. But as of now, no international trips planned. I have some few domestic trips planned, but I don't know. I am more of the spontaneous type, so we'll see what travel plans I come up with later.
I do remember you talking about this trip where you said it was so good that you looked up how to become a citizen. So what was your favorite part of that trip?
I just really like the nature. I just needed something new. Like, I love Korea, but sometimes it's just really good to get out of the same bubble you're always into. Just see something new, try some new food, see some people. Yeah.
That does sound really great. So vacation trends seem to change every year. Ki, what are we seeing this summer? Where are people headed to these days?
Well, the summer's travel trends are taking a fresh new turn compared to previous year. First off, people are choosing closer destinations over faraway ones. And second, more and more people are opting for spontaneous getaways rather than meticulously planned vacation. According to a recent survey, 8 out of 10 office workers in Korea are planning domestic trips, and instead of long holidays, they are going for short mini breaks like 2 nights, 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days, or even just a day or two. They go to Busan, Daegu, Daejeon, or some places that they saw from the TV reality shows. There's a lot of TV shows. In fact, bookings at domestic resorts have gone up significantly compared to the same period last year. Now, even the hotspots have changed. So if you take a look at the screen now, in a recent ranking of top domestic travel resources, the #1 pick wasn't surprisingly the beach or the mountains. As you can see, it was a traditional market, or 재래시장, we say in Korean. It was followed by local festivals and mountains and valleys. Nature-based healing trips are still hot, but here's a bit of a twist. For the MZ generation, the trend is now driven by social media-worthy spots. If it's not Instagrammable, it's not trending. There have to be places or food where you can take some photos and upload them.
Right, it's kind of a problem, but sometimes I also do feel like if I don't have any photos to post, it's like, did I even really go on that trip? Which is really bad.
Every time I go, every food, not just to upload it, but then just to have it and record as my memory.
Oh, it's also good for yourself too, I feel like, yeah. So Julian, how has the way people plan their vacations changed? Are people still booking trips months in advance, or are we seeing more last-minute spontaneous getaways?
So we are definitely seeing more last-minute, more spontaneous getaways. As people plan more shorter and more efficient domestic trips, more and more are traveling more spontaneously. This is actually true not just in Korea, but also in the US too. So according to Reuters, waiting for discounts is one of the biggest travel trends amongst American travelers. So instead of planning far in advance, Americans are waiting for prices to actually drop before booking. And people are also redefining what it means to travel. Instead of traveling far away, for example, there's actually a sharp rise in staycations. Staycations are actually a blend of the word stay and vacation, and basically means that people take vacations at hotels or malls in the local city instead of traveling far away. Interestingly, when you look at age groups travel trends in Korea, people in their 30s are more likely to spend on more high-spending, extravagant trips, while people in their 20s value more cost-effectiveness. And Gen Zers value affordability more, and especially when planning for overseas trips. So for example, instead of going to the Maldives or Canada, they might instead choose to go to Okinawa or Mongolia instead, which tends to be more affordable.
So my mom actually enjoys this. We had a conversation where she said she actually, for her, that her ideal vacation is going to, like you said, like a mall when there's not that many people. So that for her, that's her ideal vacation. And for me, I like going on big trips. But then for her, she said it doesn't really count as a real vacation if you're always having planned stuff. So that's always hard too. So NQ, what's driving these changes?
Well, first of all, this year in Korea specifically, we're seeing an unusually high number of long holidays with golden weeks in May and October. We've seen in May, we already had 2-week long holidays with Labor Day, Children's Day, and the weekends in between. Many people have already traveled or are planning trips around those long holidays, especially for Chuseok too. So the typical summer holidays are now very different. If you take a look at it now, a lot of natural disasters that's taken place recently, and earthquakes in Japan, extreme heat waves in part of Europe, both once top travel destinations are now facing serious challenges. Besides, just too hot to go anywhere nowadays.
Right. Sometimes it does feel like the ideal vacation is just staying in,
right,
away from the heat. Julian, are there any other reasons for this shift?
Yeah, so comfort and financial reasons seem to be the biggest reasons behind this shift. People are actually getting really tired of long distance travel where they have to sit in an airplane for many hours. They want to avoid the heat and they also value more of their personal time. But due to the struggling economy, people are leaning towards more low activity, high relaxation holidays instead of more active, expensive vacations.
And I feel like it will be good for the economy. People are staying more local because it'll keep the money, circulating within our country as well. But summer definitely means different things to different people depending on their lifestyle, budget, and personality. So to get a broader perspective, we turned to our viewers on the Arirang News YouTube channel and asked for their thoughts on how they're spending their summer this year. And here are the answers we got. So 40% of people said they had no plans for the summer. Meanwhile, 23% plan to travel within the country, 19% intended to stay local, and 18% were looking to travel abroad. So to hear more about what summer vacation looks like in other countries, we'll be speaking with a young person from Sweden who will share some of the latest vacation trends in his country. And that's coming up right after the break, so stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Isak, a young person in his 20s from Sweden. Hi, Isak. Thanks so much for connecting with us today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So what do people usually do during summer vacation in your country, and how is it similar to or different from Korea?
I think a big difference would be weather. Like for today example, the weather changed like 8 times from sun to rain to sun and then thunder. We don't have a monsoon season, so the weather can be very chaotic and unpredictable. But you will find people outside as long as there's sun. It boosts our morale to be outside. Some just go to the local islands, some visits the forest, or just stay outside with friends and have food, drinks. Somewhat similar to going to Hangang and enjoying a beer with your friends, but also very different.
Okay, you've probably heard from our show, there's a lot of changes in travel trends in Korea, but have you noticed any recent changes in summer vacation trends in Sweden, especially among younger people there?
Younger people, I don't know if I can call myself young people anymore, but I know a lot of people do like me and take some extra shifts from their vacation or holiday to save up some money, which is a similar trend. And that also makes sense because we like to stay domestic more now than we used to do before. We go to Denmark maybe or Norway, which is very close by, but some just choose to go to Stockholm or Getaways, which is close by.
Great. Hi, Isak. Just to wrap things up, I wanted to ask you, what are your plans for this summer? And also, what does your idea of the perfect vacation look like to you?
My perfect vacation is quite lazy. I would just meet up with my friends as much as possible, going swimming, enjoying the weather when it's possible. But right now I'm balancing work life because I have a late vacation next month and I'm going abroad, which I rarely do, but I'm gonna do it with my family.
Before we let you go, can you tell us where you're planning to go?
Yeah, so my mother really wants to go to Croatia and I've never visited, but the sea looks amazing, so that makes me happy.
Well, I hope you have a great trip, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just heard from a young person from Sweden about how summer vacations are spent there. It's interesting to see how cultural norms and workplace expectations shape the way people take breaks in different parts of the world. So to wrap up our discussion for today, Key, what are some tips for having a fun and safe summer vacation?
Stay inside. Where the room is
Stay
really nicely air conditioned. Well, I wasn't really a summer person to begin with, but time to time I enjoy the hot weather, sunshine, the beach, and nice cold beer at the end of the day. But nowadays it's just too hot. You know, the weather is reaching nearly 40 degrees, and so I do homecation instead of staycation. I recently bought a lot of toys like Legos. I just assemble at home with the air conditioner on 24/7. But should you stay outside, please drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, and wear sunblock lotion any time of the day. Even if it's raining or if it's cloudy outside, the sun can still penetrate those. So wear the sun lotion every 4 or 5 hours to protect your skin.
Like today, it's raining a lot today,
Exactly.
so that's really good advice. So what about you, Julian? What are your thoughts?
Well, summertime is actually my favorite time of the year, so I'm very excited to be able to go out. So my first advice would be to have a lot of fun, enjoy any potential trips you have planned, or just to stay home. We actually live in a time now where it's actually so much easier and cheaper to travel, so if you have the opportunity, take the chance to check out something new. You might learn something new. And I would say just be mindful of your new environment. Things like weather, for example, can play a huge role in what you can do. So check the forecast and make sure you're prepared, especially for heat waves or typhoons during the summertime. Also, if you're visiting a different culture or country, make an effort to understand the local culture. A little cultural awareness goes a long way in making your trip smooth and comfortable, not only for yourself, but everyone around you too.
So as summer unfolds, one thing is quite clear: vacation habits are evolving. So whether it's a quick weekend escape, budget-friendly local trip, or mood-based planning driven by social media, the way we travel says a lot about the times we live in. And whatever your plans look like this year, the most important thing is to make time to rest, recharge, and of course, stay safe.
Before we wrap up,
right.
do you have any plan for the summer vacation?
I'm still thinking about what to do. Do you have any ideas of what would be a great, fun, short summer vacation?
Universal Studio. 2 days, 3 days.
Something I should look into. Yeah,
Harry Potter.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah. We're also conducting a program survey that includes News Generation to better meet our viewers' expectations. So please visit us at www.arirang.com or on the Arirang TV mobile app to share your valuable feedback. By participating, you'll also have a chance to win Bluetooth earbuds and exclusive K-pop merchandise. And this brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation, but News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Big thanks to Key.
Thank you.
And Julian.
Thank you for having me today.
For coming in. And to all our viewers, thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have the best day. We are
News Generation.